I'm your host, T. Mitchell Bell, and we have in the studio here on Acoustic Songs Live Mr. Scott Krokoff from New York City. He drove in today from New York on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Thank you very much, Scott, for coming. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Mitch. Thanks for having me.
It's great. And we'll talk a little bit more with Scott. You're on Acoustic Songs Live at 91.7 FM here in Washington, Pennsylvania, South Hills of Pittsburgh. And we stream live at WNJR.org, and you can go to acousticSongs.com and find all the videos and links for the show. Scott, we usually have our artists just dig in and play something right off the top. What do you want to do for us?
This is called I Know Your Story.
Okay, this is Scott Krokoff.
There you go. Think of the crow.
Krokoff.
Krokoff.
On Acoustic Songs Live.
Me
Very nice. Nice, nice, nice. I really like your music. It's very uplifting feeling too. You know.
Oh, thank you very much.
And I was really I like your story too. You know, it's we could talk a little bit about that, but why don't you tell folks what you did back what, in 2008 or
2008, and for a good dozen or so years before then, I was a full-time attorney.
Gotcha.
In the legal world.
Yeah. Tax attorney, right?
Tax attorney, that's right, that's right. Extra schooling. You don't need it, but usually most of the tax attorneys get an extra year of schooling for it.
Yeah. So you, and then you left your full-time, or you'd left your full-time gig and decided to pursue your passion in music?
That's right. I mean, I always had that passion. I was in a band since my college days, ironically with other people who ended up going to grad school of one sort or another, most of whom went to become attorneys, ironically enough. And, you know, I always regretted, especially as I got older, the fact that I never gave music a real chance.
Yeah.
And, you know, you got to treat music like a full-time job. Even in this internet day and age, you got to, you know, if you really want to have a chance to succeed in it, you really got to devote a lot of time to it.
Yeah.
Now, you know, there's a catch-22 to it in the sense that you can't, you know, it's hard to be a starving artist. So I guess in my position, you know, I'm transitioning out from the legal world into the music world. So I still work part-time, so I can pay bills, you know, but and allows me to do, you know, to give this a real shot. But you know, but I've always had that passion in music, and I always wanted to do it, and I regretted not, you know, when I was working full time, not having the chance because I didn't. It all dried up. So that's what I'm trying to rectify that now.
Yeah, I relate totally to that. Exactly the same thing happened in my life, and it's funny because I was just reading through this, and I must have read this earlier on when I booked you on the show, and I was reading through this again, and it was exactly the same time period where I had you know, decided, you know, I had an opportunity to do something, and it was just that little knock on the door. They come, hey, remember me? Don't forget about me. You know, and so I had a chance to do the same similar thing, and had people on the show that young kids that I've asked that question to, and one of them put it very succinctly in saying that music is its own reward. You know, in the sense if you can do that full time and get paid for it, to do it full time and make a decent living, because there are people out there doing it. It sure beats that cubicle life any day.
There's no question. If you have a passion for music, I would say a passion for anything, but if you have a passion for music, you know, I mean, most people are in it for that reason. I mean, most musicians, I like to believe all, but most, if not all, are extremely passionate about what they're doing, and it affects all ages. And yet people who come in, you know, straight out of college who could take, you know, maybe have a little more freedom, less responsibility. Mm-hmm. And then there are people like you and I who, you know, wanted to do it, got lost a little bit, still felt that urge, if anything felt the urge even more.
Yeah.
And said, before it's too late, I got to give this a go.
Yeah, I call it I joke around, I call it my midlife crisis. Told
nothing wrong with that. You know, it's probably in a way for me too. You know, I mean,
some guys say, "Honey, I want to buy this boat." You know,
pre-midlife crisis, right?
Yeah. I said, "Hey, honey, I want to make a CD." You know, some guys want a boat, some guys make a CD. I don't know.
Well, a lot of people, a lot of people end up doing, you know, for one reason or another, going into vocations or staying in jobs that they don't really love. In fact, they could barely tolerate. Yeah. And then they get trapped. Yeah. You know, they get used to the money, or they feel
the golden handcuffs.
Golden handcuffs, especially in the legal world. I'm telling you, there's a ton of people. Not everyone's aspiring to be a musician like me. There's plenty of lawyers that are not. You're just not happy people. You know, a lot of people go to law school as a default. You know, I mean, lawyers know that. People, you know, people go to law school and them knowing that. Not everyone else does. You know, a lot of people go to law school because they really didn't know what else to do in their lives, and they want to do something prestigious and something lucrative potentially and steady. And before they know it, they're in, you know, they're taking up massive loans, and they're in law school, and then they get to become lawyers, and they realize, what did I do? You know, and then you're getting the money, but then you have the loans, and then of course you probably have a nice apartment. Then, you know, with more and more responsibility, whether you get married, have kids, then it becomes harder and harder to get out.
I would like to, you know, see a hedge fund manager that, you know, decided to.
In a way, a hedge fund manager would probably have it easier if they succeeded as a hedge fund manager. And they can get the hell out of there. You know?
Yeah, I'm leaving Wall Street.
I mean, the difference between a hedge fund and a manager and attorney. An attorney, you could, you know, even in a big firm, you could do really well for yourself, but it's a long-term benefit.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the same. Running a hedge fund is much more volatile, but it's very high risk, high reward. So when you hit, you hit.
Yeah.
Monstrously.
Yeah, but when you're a partner at a big firm, then
you're doing great. But you got to remember, as a lawyer, you're in a service profession. You're serving other people. Even when you're in the top of the chain, you're doing great. But you know, you're not doing as well as a top CEO or a hedge fund manager. It's just, you know, it's a long-term benefit. It's like anything else. I mean, you know, you got to love what you want to do.
I had two at my CD release. The two keyboard players, one piano and the organ player, both attorneys, and one is a criminal defense attorney, and the other one is more medical field, you know, type stuff.
Medical malpractice?
I don't know if that you know, I'm trying to remember. It had something to do with medical, but yeah, I had two attorneys in the band. You know, it was kind of interesting, but great keyboard players, and I was really blessed to have both of them. And but yeah, and I find in the computer industry that I worked in, there are a lot of musicians that get into computers. I mean, or vice versa, and it probably came out of the whole like MIDI thing, you know, like MIDI computers, recording, and all that tech stuff that you do. And I was so surprised at how many musicians, or how many guys that were system administrators or network administrators were also musicians too. It was like, okay.
Yeah, it could be a couple of reasons that I could think of, speculating. One, maybe where, you know, a lot of people say science and
the mathematical side.
Exactly.
Of the thing, yeah.
And then there are probably people who, you know, want to be internet savvy, which is a smart thing. You know, try to get into the computer business. You know, if you could learn how to build your own website and things of that nature, you could really be very potent.
Yeah.
And you could save yourself a lot of money. Yeah. So I'm sure there are people like that. Plus, you know, there's so many, you know, just in terms of Pro Tools and kind of recording, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm terrible at that stuff, you know. I mean, and that takes a lot of time to become proficient at.
Yeah.
So that's another possibility.
Yeah, that's what sucked me, and started like in '95 doing web pages for myself and then friends, and then next thing you know, it's like, hey, can you FTP, and do you know Unix? Like, yeah, a little bit. Well, we need a Unix administrator, and I get sent to all these classes, and next thing you know, that's my job. And that's why I said, you know, in 2008, I got sucked into the internet. It spit me out, and I've been playing, you know, trying to do music full time for a couple of years, and you know, taking that step off of the blind faith step in 2008, not knowing what was on the other side of the horizon.
Oh, it's hard, man.
Well, I mean, you know, it's like hindsight being 20/20. You go, whoa, what was on the other side? You know, the whole recession hit. You know, so it was.
Yeah, but you know, how are you gonna know that?
Yeah, true. Yeah. But at the same time, you know,
if you knew that, you'd probably be a pretty rich man right now.
It would, yeah. Well, there probably are some people who did know that are very rich people. But yeah, anyway, we could talk a lot about that. But I'd like you to play. You know, if you want to play something else for us,
yeah,
that
sure.
apparently must be off of an unreleased CD. Your last song.
That actually is from
that's
from a Better Life CD, the one my last CD.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see it. Okay,
No,
track
yeah,
3. I'm sorry, I didn't.
Actually, it's track 1. It should be.
Okay.
I Know Your Story.
I Know Your Story.
Yeah.
Okay, I heard your voice. Is that what you called that?
No, it's called I Know Your Story.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the first line is I heard your voice.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I wrote it down.
No, that's no problem. No problem.
Okay, sorry about that.
No worries.
What are you going to do for us now?
This is actually, I recorded an acoustic track of this. It's not on the CD. It's called Walter Mitty.
Okay, cool.
You know the short story?
Yeah.
James Thurber?
Oh, the Thurber stuff that
Yeah,
Keith Urban would have read every night on Fridays or something. Yeah,
yeah, you might have read it in school, you know, elementary school. Or something like
it's I can't recall it right now.
I haven't read it in a long time myself, but it's a famous short story about basically a person who lives inside his mind and not in the real world.
Walter Mitty.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's also it was made into a movie in I believe the 40s or 50s with Danny Kaye.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's part of the cultural DNA. I mean, I'm familiar with it, but I can't.
That's
recall
okay.
off the top of my head. You know.
So this story, this song's pretty much about that.
About Walter Mitty.
Yeah, about like a modern day Walter Mitty.
Walter. Okay.
Let me. I got to put my little
No problem.
gadget
Hey,
on.
in case you just joined us, you're listening to Acoustic Songs Live, and we have Scott Krokoff in the studio. I want to say
You'll get it. You'll get it.
Krokoff in the studio, and he's playing some tunes for us. And he's this is about it's a Walter Mitty. What's the name of the tune?
Walter Mitty. Once I get my little gadget on here.
Nice, man. I'm back here to tap my toes and getting into it. So I was looking at your list of people you have playing on your CD. I'm really psyched to hear this. A lot of real professional folks that you hooked up with. How did that all come about?
I was lucky to. It was all from really on account of my producer, Bob Stander, who's he's been in the business for a long time, and he's based out in Long Island, in New York, out in Huntington, and he's made a lot of contacts over the years. Got a bunch of go-to session players and some pretty prominent ones, like Steve Holley.
Yeah, I saw that.
And Mario Cruz and
Paul Rico.
Yeah, Paul Errico.
Errico?
Yeah, he plays a lot with Steve Forber.
Steve's he was a big influence on me.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's great. I saw him last year. I played at the singer-songwriter conference out in Cape May, New Jersey.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be going back again in a couple of weeks, and he was there. He was the featured performer on one of the nights. And yeah, really nice guy and just great, understated playing.
One of my first albums I remember buying was his Alive on Arrival, and when I heard him Bob Dylan, of course they were saying he was the next Dylan.
Yeah, right, I know, I remember.
Next Springsteen, Springsteen was the next Dylan,
right.
Steve Forber was the next Dylan, but when I heard him I was like, wow, that's somebody playing the kind of music that I would like to play. Dylan had kind of already peaked and faded when I was in high school, kind of thing, or Blood on the Tracks was already released, kind of thing. And here Steve Forber comes playing, just basic acoustic guitar and harmonica, and I was really, really, and then I did get a chance to meet him in Philly area, and I had gotten rid of all my albums. I was kicking myself, and I was like, man, I could have had you sign this. So, what you've been playing? As far as songwriting and playing, I mean, is this something that started early in life for you? How did that? How did you get into playing music?
I actually didn't pick it up seriously until college. I did have an ear for music. I played trumpet in junior high school, and I could pick out a few things on the piano, like a melody and things of that nature. And I knew a few good guitar chords, but I didn't really start picking it up. Slowly, as a senior in high school, I started dabbling in it, and then in college, I really started. I bought a used Yamaha guitar for like $150, and I just started really devoting myself to it. And in fact, it was when once I hit college is really when I started pursuing, getting more passionate about it and being more serious about it. But there was a bunch of trial and error, and I pretty much sucked, and it took me a while to get pretty decent.
I think I had a Yamaha FG 125 or something like that. I think it was. It was like one of my first guitars too. Yeah, it was like the first half decent guitar that wasn't like a harmony acoustic with really hard action. I could actually have to play it. Yeah. So, and when did you start writing your own stuff, though? How did that?
I was when I was a senior in college, I was in a band called Equinox with some of my other buddies, many of whom actually all of whom I keep in touch with to this day, and that's when I started to write. My buddy Carl Hoffman was the other songwriter in the band, and he actually was more of took more of the songwriting lead in the beginning, and over time I started chipping in with my songs. And so basically, when I was a senior in college is when I started trying to put the pen to the paper and trying to become a songwriter.
And I was reading in your bio there, one of your songs was featured on the Today Show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That's A Better Life, which is sort of my anthem. Since I'm trying to basically seek the proverbial a better life. I'm trying to leave the legal world and go for something that I love and I care about. And for me, some people love being lawyers, but for me, I want to. Music's my passion. And I wrote A Better Life a number of years ago, and that's the title cut off the CD you have. And
so they featured it for the Yankees.
Yeah, they featured it for the Yankees. I'm trying to remember what they had. What does it say over there? Remind me what it said.
Oh, it was the Yankees Hope Week.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. So they have a Hope Week initiative in which they do a lot of charitable stuff.
Oh, okay.
And I know someone at NBC who's interested in using the song for the piece on it, the Today Show piece on it, and voila, there it was. During part of the piece. Yeah, it was totally cool.
That's cool.
I got a lot of great feedback on it. It was really amazing. I was really appreciative that I got to do that.
And I saw Gary. Now Gary Allan, I'm thinking maybe I'm thinking of a different Gary Allan, but I thought there was a songwriter named Gary Allan that played keyboards. But I'm down in Nashville.
I think there's more than one Gary Allan.
Okay.
Yeah, the Gary Allan that you're
referencing here for Charlie
referencing, yeah,
Daniels.
exactly. Was the drummer of the Charlie Daniels band at one point, and he runs. You know, there's a number of songwriting contests on Sonic Biz.
Gotcha.
And,
Okay.
and his is called Best Song of the World, which he runs every quarter. And Holy Fire, which is also on that CD that you have in your hand, he loved and picked as the best song of fall 2010.
Oh, cool.
In his competition. It's a very countrified kind of song. You know.
Well, I hope you're going to play those for us. Yeah?
I feel like I have to.
You got like a better life. And, you know, Holy Fire. So what do you want to do? You want to play another song?
Yeah. I'll play Holy Fire after this one. This is called Because of You.
Okay. This is Scott Krokoff. I want to say
By the end, man. By the end, you're getting it down. I can't think of the bird, the crow.
I know, but I think I've been saying, like all day or all week, everybody's been talking about the Koch brothers. The Koch brothers. Yeah.
Don't worry, you can only imagine how many people butcher my last name, so
yeah.
I'm not at all.
Yeah. So, and this is called, tell me again?
Because of You.
Because of You.
Because of
Very nice. Yeah, it's a real treat. Your songs are, as I can say, very well crafted, and just you know, you made the right decision.
Oh, thanks.
I don't know how good of an attorney you are. You know.
I'm okay. I'm no superstar. I'm confident, but thank you.
But music,
this means even more. Thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah. So if people, where can they find you? So that,
you can find me on I have a website. It's scottkrokoff.com. I should just spell it. It's Scott, 2 T's, then K-R-O-K-O, 2 F's as in Frank. Scott Krokoff, no underscores, none of that stuff. .com. You can also find me on Facebook and Twitter and all that other crap.
Yeah. Well, there's there's so many websites out there, and my Sonic Bids profile looks like that. All the links that there are. That you have to be on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, and Bandcamp, and Reverb Nation.
All that.
It's like
you got to do it.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool that. You can do that now. Back in, there was only mp3.com. I remember that was like the big site. Everybody was on mp3.com, and they went under, and then MySpace, and now it's like there's just so many places.
I know. That's the problem. I mean, it's amazing to have these resources. It's amazing to have all these tools at your disposal, and I mean, you could never have done all this stuff on your own 10 years ago. Even 5 years ago was difficult. Now you got all these things, excuse me, but then it constantly is in flux. It's changing all the time. So you gotta keep up with it, which is not easy to do.
No, and there's a number of there are some people that are trying to address that aspect of it, of there being a one-stop shop type of place. You put stuff in one place and then it populates it everywhere else, which helps a lot,
Yeah, the one-stop shop is definitely the way to go, and the more you can do that, the better it is for artists like me to be able to, because you spend so many man hours trying to market yourself on the social media stuff. And
yeah. And it's easy to forget, why you're doing what you do, because you make music, you don't make Facebook pages.
It's totally easy to forget about it. In fact, I'm sure most musicians would say the same thing. They probably spend more time spending more time trying to market themselves and promote themselves than actually writing and performing.
Yeah, and that's, I found that out when I was trying to promote the new CD and trying to get the word out, and it's easy to get sucked into it and just but working in the computer industry and knowing all that, it's easy to get sucked into just spending time on the computer, and it's like, this isn't what I want to do. This is what I was trying to get away from.
Exactly. You could lose yourself in it. The thing is, you have to do it. You can't just like disappear unless if you're lucky to delegate it to some frenzy, or some you could hire somebody to do it. It's so much the better for you. But you got to do it. I mean, you have to. That's you have to promote yourself heavily on all these kinds of sites.
Yeah.
And in order just to get because everyone else is doing it, and the one of the con of all the advantages that the internet provides is that everyone is has the same access that you do, and therefore is doing all this stuff, and that means you have to work that much harder to stand out.
Yeah.
So that's an unfortunate thing that I'm sure a lot of musicians have problems with, because obviously the main part is being devoted to your craft and trying to write and trying to perform. Getting gigs and all that and building up your fan base is hard enough, and then you got to keep up with all of that, keep in touch with your fan base, and promote yourself on all these social media platforms. Is just another layer to it.
Yeah, and there are people who are very good at that part of it.
Some people are great at it. I'm not the greatest at it.
I'm not either.
Even when I have something great to talk about, I get a little shy about it sometimes. I don't want to be the shameless self-promoter, you know what I mean? Yeah,
but sometimes it's like the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and the person out there making the most noise actually gets the attention.
It's true.
And their music is really not that great.
It's true, though. You got to be, you're absolutely right, though. You got to be persistent about it, and you got to just get over that. I mean, I don't think a lot of musicians like to do that stuff, because they're trying to,
Well, you're artists, Yeah.
You're trying to be genuine about it. You want to, you're trying to, you obviously love what you're doing. You're trying to get, have people believe in it too, and you know, then you got to do all these Facebook status posts and Twitter updates and all that stuff, and after a while you're like, what the hell am I doing, you know? But at the same time, you got to do it, and you really do have to, you know, you know, some people are tremendously skilled at it. I give them a lot of credit.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But it's an important skill to have.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So I was looking over here. Now you have a gig coming up tomorrow night, right, in Philly? You were telling me.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. You want to tell everybody where you're going to be?
Yeah, I'm going to be playing at the High Point Cafe tomorrow, outside of Philly in Germantown. Okay. Afternoon coffee house kind of gig, 2 o'clock.
Okay, cool. So if anybody's listening in Philadelphia, our stream, in case you just joined us, this is Acoustic Songs Live, and I'm your host, T. Mitchell Bell, and we're broadcasting here from the WNJR Studios at 91.7 FM in Washington, Pennsylvania, in the South Hills of Pittsburgh, and also streaming live at WNJR.org. There's a link there on the site for the streaming portion. And you can find us on acousticsongs.com, and the links there to our YouTube channel and the podcast. Everything will be available of Scott's performance here in the studio. And I was looking over, you know, so you're in New York City, and a lot of these places, the Bitter End, you know, living room and piano bars. These are all normally people can find you there in New York. Playing at some of these places, right?
Yep.
And a lot of the singer-songwriter conferences, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm trying to, you know, just small, you know, trying to get involved in those conferences. You can't just start jumping into big-time festivals. You want to, you know, got to start with conferences like this. And those singer-songwriter conferences are really great. I've met a lot of, like the one in Dewey Beach is excellent. The one I'm going to in a couple of weeks at Cape May is also really fabulous. And you meet a lot of great, you know, other talent out there, other singer-songwriters who are trying to do this, you know, push along their music careers like you, and you make some really great contacts, and you hear some great music. It's definitely worthwhile events.
Yeah, I know the Philly Folk Fest is a really cool thing in the Philly area.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to do that.
If you get a chance to go, it's I know I think Gene Shea at XPN, they've been involved in that for I think 30 years now. And then Falcon Ridge is another pretty cool place.
I'd love to do that one.
Yeah, that's really
Hillsdale,
yeah. I've never been up to that one.
I used to work at a sleepaway camp right around there, so that's why I know about the Falcon Ridge.
Yeah,
it's right by the Berkshires.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a really great place too. I haven't had a chance to go up to that.
It's a beautiful area in New York, and yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about the festival.
And the Folklife Festival down in, or is it down in Memphis? That just
the Folk Alliance, yeah.
Folk Alliance, yeah.
Yep, I know about that one too. I heard that's a great one.
Yeah. Next week we have Brad Yoder, local singer-songwriter from Pittsburgh, and he goes there every year. And I was trying to talk to him about it. He's been there a number of years, and I haven't been there. It's a pretty cool place. You know, like Kerrville is another one too.
Kerrville Folk Festival.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, it would be nice to have that luxury of being able to do all of them. But you know, having the part-time gig, and for me, I'm like got 3 kids in school, so can't really just pick up and throw them all in the minivan and go to a conference, you know. But
I don't have kids yet, but I'm married, so you know. But you have people like us. We have responsibilities. You can't just, you know.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's the difference between our situation and that of the 22-year-old who could just
pick up and go.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
but we have some extra wisdom along the way. Right?
Yeah. Hopefully, you work smarter, not harder. You know, at this point. Right. So, you want to play something else for us?
Yeah, I'll play Holy Fire since you asked.
Okay, great. That would be cool. Right. This is Scott Krokoff at WNJR on Acoustic Songs Live. Okay.
Place
upbeat, you know. Like I don't think there's one depressing song on your CD.
And that's ironic because I'm usually a pretty depressing person.
So what keeps you so upbeat?
Maybe these songs. Sometimes I think I'm trying to talk to myself.
Yeah, you know, I tend to write these things, and I go like, oh my, you know, I listen to this, like my one buddy said, you know, yeah, that song just makes me want to slit my wrist, you know, like, well, thanks, Bill, you know. But yeah, no, it's just very upbeat and uplifting. I think it's refreshing, you know, to hear in these times, I guess, truly, you know, with everything that's going on in the world right now. What keeps you so like upbeat and optimistic?
I don't know. I mean, it's funny because I do have some dark songs. You know, it's not like it's all sunny kind of stuff. But it's funny because a lot of people say this to me, that you know, that you got really uplifting, positive songs, and I think like, you just don't know me.
Well, keep doing it. We need more of it, you know.
I think, I don't know, maybe I just, you know, that's my knack. I guess I have a knack for when I try to channel even my negative energy, it ends up coming out in this kind of way.
That's cool. That's cool because I am trying very hard to right the ship, because you know yeah, like I was saying, you know, 2008, making that leap of faith and going and recording, and then, you know, going, oh, well, not knowing what was around the corner, it really is definitely like, it's testing, you know, to be out there and trying to make money making music right now, and so yeah, anything. I'm gonna put this every time I'm like, right, oh, why am I doing this gig? I'm just gonna put this on beforehand, and I'm gonna be smiling from ear to ear.
Put that baby in there.
Yeah. So in case you just joined us, we have Scott Krokoff in the studio, and Scott is playing some tunes for us off of his debut debut solo CD, A Better Life, and there's some very cool songs about a better life, and I'm enjoying it. Scott's going to be playing in Germantown, outside of Philadelphia, at what was the name of the coffee house again?
High Point Cafe.
High Point Cafe, and go check them out if you're in the area. And also, what do you have coming up as far as anything this booked coming up this summer? People might know about you know, as far as the festivals, anything?
Nothing yet.
Okay.
I'm working on some stuff. I'm actually hoping to play out in San Francisco. I might even make a trip to the Nashville and Memphis area. I'm trying to hit different pockets of the country.
Oh yeah.
But I got nothing at the moment.
Okay, cool. Well, if are you working on a new CD? You have some tunes?
Yeah. Actually, since the fall, I've been working on new material, and what I've been doing is I've been just doing a piecemeal. I've been recording acoustic tracks one at a time. If you go on my site, you'll see a bunch of the acoustic tracks. For example, I played Walter Mitty earlier. That's one of the newer ones. And I did this for a couple of reasons. Main one of which, instead of, you really can't, you don't want to, it'll take 2 to 3 years, if not more, to do another full-length CD. And in this climate, you really don't, even if you want to do an album kind of project, you really want to get your songs out there. And people are used to getting regular content. So by doing this one, piecemeal one at a time, I'm keeping myself out there. Plus, I'm keeping my fans interested. I'm showing them the new stuff I'm working on. Plus, it's cheaper to just do these songs acoustically for now. At some point, hopefully later this year, what I'd like to do is cherry pick a bunch of these, do band versions, maybe make a couple of YouTube videos for a couple of them. And this way, I got my regular content, I got my band songs, and I got some video content, and then hopefully at the end of the day, I have this complete album picture, and that's the plan.
We were talking about this offline with a couple of people, and that seems to be we've kind of gone full circle, where almost the single is coming back into vogue again, where people are releasing singles rather than holding these big CD projects, because somebody's going to plunk down, let's say $15 for a CD, 15 tunes, $15 usually. It's about the going thing. But a lot of people are doing EPs now, like $5 here, $5 there, and then you roll all those EPs all up into one full-length CD at the end of it, and it does keep people interested rather than having 3 years before, 3 years in between projects, or 4 years, and my point is, like, right now it's 3 years for me. Yeah, it's like, okay, I better start putting something out again, and you think, how to do that, and that's a pretty good plan. I think a lot of people are doing that now.
Well, it helps in a lot of ways. Like I said, it keeps the regular content out there. It's cheaper to do. Plus, it's less stressful in a way. I mean, because I think a lot of songwriters are still very album oriented, and if you think it in terms of one big album, it's a big mass, and then you see everyone, especially now, everyone's so used to regular content. Like, and if you just disappear for that long of a period of time, you're going to see your peers. It's going to feel. I think you would feel a little nerve wracked.
Yeah.
You'd be like, what am I? I got to get some stuff out. I got to get some stuff out. And this way, this allows you to keep. It keeps yourself out there. You have the satisfaction of coming up with new stuff. You've recorded it. So you've come up with some new material. Your fans know, and then you could still have a bigger picture, too. So I think it helps in a lot of ways.
So go to Scott's website at Scott Krokoff. That's Krokoff, right?
Yeah.
And check out his new tunes. Like Walter Mitty is one of the newer tunes that you played for us today, and also sign up for his mailing list. I see you're on Fanbridge too.
Yeah, and in fact, what's cool, if you on the mailing list, I've been giving out these free downloads to the new acoustic tracks, like about once every month or so. So people on my mailing list have been getting first access to these newer songs.
Which, yeah, that's the ticket, I think. Yeah. So hey, we have about 5 more minutes left. And hopefully you could play like one more tune for us. And it's been great having you on the show. And
thanks, man.
Thank you all for listening out there. As I said, next week we have Brad Yoder from here in Pittsburgh. If you want to find and I think the following week after that, Amy from Baltimore. If you want to go to acousticSongs.com, we have a listing of all of our shows that are upcoming, the artists, and I think this summer we're still deciding whether we're going to be taking a break this summer. Students are off for the summer, but we're definitely booked up into May. I think 13th is the last week that the students will be here. But anyway, what do you want to play for us?
I was going to ask you first, Mitch. Thanks for having me here.
Oh, my pleasure. Well, it's gone by like that.
Yeah, it totally has, and I've had a great time, and I really appreciate it. What would you like? Would you like me to continue on the positive vein?
You play whatever you want. It's you.
I almost feel like you got me in the. I was going to go a little darker.
No. Play what you want.
All right, let me go a little darker here. This is called What the Hell. Okay. This is like the other side, the side where it's
Okay.
It's symbolic of probably what a lot of people are feeling right now.
Listening to Acoustic Songs Live, I'm your host T. Mitchell Bell, and we're broadcasting here from WNJR Washington.